last business is probably the wackiest of all. He learns where he can rent pinball machines. And then he makes contacts with barbers who are popular. And the barbershop's full of customers waiting to get their haircut. He says, I'll put the pinball machine in the barbershop, and I'll split 50-50 with you to take. And I'll do all the work. Would you be crazy not to accept a Warren Buffett pinball machine? Now he's got 5 streams of revenue coming in, and by the time, I think it's 1939, he's ready to go to college. Warren Buffett has the equivalent inflation adjusted of $100,000 in the bank. He applies to the Wharton School of Business, and they turn him down. Why would they want somebody? It's a cult. It's a secular religion. It's a jobs project. And you can, in fact, introduce your kids to enough experience. Read what Washington, Jefferson, Madison, and Franklin were doing at 11 and find analogs to that in, am I in Salem, Oregon? Yes, find analogs to that. It's not hard. It makes your life very exciting, and your kid only needs to make his first $1,000 in a business or to circumnavigate the city of Salem, map it out and get an article about it in the newspaper, and then you tell him if he can get it published in the newspaper, you're going to let him circumnavigate the state of Oregon. And if he gets that in the newspaper, the United States, and that all by itself will entitle him to a full tuition scholarship at Harvard, Yale, Princeton, or Stanford. How do I know that? Because I had a private audience with the admissions director of Harvard. And I said, what's this I hear about grades and test scores not being the key determinant of getting in? And she said to me, they're not adequate evidence of excellence. We only accept students at Harvard who have a track record of excellence. The guy at Princeton said, I look at hobbies first. I said, I was taught to leave hobbies off because nobody cared. The guy at Princeton said, on the contrary, it's the only reliable information that a young person provides. Everything else that they provide could have been supplied or done in tandem with an add-on. This tells you what's in their mind and their heart when their time's their own to spend. Well, what do you look for? Well, he said, personally, I look for a hobby in which the kid is risking life and limb. Because if he doesn't know what he's doing, he could end up dead. Like what I said, trail riding, where you have to duck under the low branches, otherwise your head goes in one direction and the horse and you go in another. Sailing a one-person boat out of sight of land, because if you don't understand what you're doing and the wind comes up, you can end up in the middle of the Pacific. Or he said, no one on earth could make this up. Seatless unicycle riding over broken terrain. He just accepted it, kid. That was his credential. He got accepted on it. Obviously, there are no rules for that sport except what you make up yourself. And you're constantly competing against your historic performance with your seatless unicycle. You couldn't even imagine it. Oh my goodness. Yes. And somebody else.